A very good morning, Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And the major question is, what happens to George Charamba now that things are turning south? Why is it that on the list of Comrade Geza, George Charamba is somehow not listed and is not part and parcel of that list? These are questions which have been asked by so many people. Majaira Jairo said, is anyone not surprised why George Charamba is not on the list? I'm not. If you know, you know. In my field, it reminds me of principles of clinical ethics and their application to practice. How do you begin to accept a cruel bigot when ethical principles a collision is presented? So George Charamba is not a good person whatsoever. He's not. But there is a question. Why is it that George Charamba has been left untouched so far? So remember, the beginning of this year, George Charamba was fired by Emmerson Mnangagwa. Alongside the CIO boss, they were fired almost at the same time. George Charamba went low up a point where VP Chwenga got back to work. That is when George Charamba then resurfaced and started work again without giving any explanation to what had happened to him. So what is very, very important is to know that the relationship between Chwenga and George Charamba, it goes back to the days of Robert Mugabe. He was very, very instrumental in the fall of Robert Mugabe. And this is a man who has been also controlling the CIO somewhere, somehow. He does have the control over the CIO because of his influence. There are certain people who are linked to him who have worked there. But that is not the main issue we need to talk about right here. Emmerson Mnangagwa cannot touch George Charamba so easily. Because look at what happened. When he fired George Charamba, the team from the president's office refused to issue a letter for George Charamba's dismissal publicly. Something happened right there. Remember, Emmerson was not in the office. Kembo Mohadi was there. He was overpowered. So right now what is happening in this whole matter is that there is what is called political loyalty and also alliances. George created an alliance with those who want to remove Emmerson. So these are people who are working together somewhere, somehow, but indirectly. When you look at what at this Geza revolution, when Blessed Mhlanga was about to be arrested the first time, George Charamba intervened and stopped the police boss. So it was publicly spoken about, publicly publicized. Emmerson is the one who then made a direct call to the police commissioner general and said, arrest Blessed Mhlanga. And then he was arrested. So they had to lay low for a season or for a period. A lot of people would ask, what is the significance of George Charamba in this whole thing? George is going to take down Mnangagwa, is going to be part and parcel of the people who are going to take down Mnangagwa. Every inch of information you see, it's believed that George or somehow George is involved. So this is very, very important. So he has been a very, very long time ally of Robert Mugabe, who turned an ally of Emmerson Mnangagwa, but is also believed to be partially an ally of Constantino Chiwenga. So in terms of strategic value, George Charamba is very, very important in shaping public narratives within the government of Zimbabwe. So he's trying by all means possible to manage the government's image. Without George Charamba, Emmerson angadai akapera kudara dara because they cannot communicate. His team can't communicate anything. They can't even run propaganda. They can't do anything. It's George who created Varakashi. Varakashi, the same Varakashi now being abused by Emmerson. It's George who brought that guy, Anons Jones Msara. It is George who created all those things. So right now, George has been overtaken now by the Tungwararas, by the Chivayos. They are now more important than him. That is the reason why he's angry, and a lot of things are happening right there. So, in as much as they accuse him of working with Team Chiwenga or whatever, it's not an easy task to remove George because he knows everything, especially about what happened in the 2018, the 2023 elections. He does have first-hand information and evidence to take down Emmerson Mnangagwa. So if they fire George, probably, I'm told that they risk having their ass thrown out as well, because he is going to expose them. Then, when you look at the power dynamics within Zanu-PF, Zanu-PF does have various factions, and the power struggles are happening within the party. So, if Mnangagwa is to fire Joe Charamba, that is going to have some implications within, in terms of the relationship between Mnangagwa and others. Because right now, he's now partially or more aligned to the Chiwenga faction more than Emmerson Mnangagwa's faction. But he can't touch him. So I always say the only way to take Joe Charamba out is through assassination. So whatever which happens, George has been calculating. Then there is an issue of political calculation right there, which I believe that Mnangagwa might be worried of making decisions that could upset the balance within his party. So he has been thinking about firing key people. For example, VP Chiwenga, dismissing him. Joe Charamba, dismissing him from Zanu-PF, from both Zanu-PF and the government. What it means is that could upset the balance of power automatically. And then it might lead to his downfall, because once these comrades are unleashed, then it becomes a problem. And also another fear is, can we touch Mnangagwa? So in as much as Mnangagwa causes a lot of problems, like the problems which we are seeing, they were accelerated by Mnangagwa. What it means is, yes, they might try to fire him, but they can't, because it will also upset the balance. So the existence of Mnangagwa right there will help. So also there is an issue of public opinion. He is popular in terms of some sections of the media. Joe Charamba is popular in the media cycles. He does have a lot of people, which means he can use the same influence he was using around 2016-17 to write some things which are negative about Robert Mugabe. If it starts at Herald, if it starts at government newspapers, or even independent newspapers, but getting information from George, it becomes a bigger problem. So also, last but not least, probably, it's a matter of trying to handle dissent. And with the political environment, with the history of internal dissent, and probably we have seen the removal of Robert Mugabe in 2017, and we know what happened next. The 2018 elections were heated. Emmerson didn't have much support from the people believed to be part and parcel of the G40. So, you know, by firing George Charamba publicly now, what it means is he will be exposing himself that there is political instability which is now untenable, and also he will be exposing much of his weaknesses. So this is what I believe is the reason why right now they've shelved the firing of George Charamba after he was brought back by VP Chiwenga. So I'm told that in January, when they removed or relieved George Charamba, they wanted to post him as an ambassador somewhere. So it failed and didn't go through. Then those are it is what it is. George remains there. But I believe that is going to be part and parcel of what is going to happen in the nation of Zimbabwe in the future. George Charamba is going to be instrumental. Pakudona, Kwevakuru. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. We will continue to look into these matters, understand them, come and cover them without fear, without favor. I love you all. Thank you very much for coming.